The cries were barely audible, lost beneath the endless silence of the savannah. A newborn lion cub, abandoned, helpless, and alone, with no mother, no protection, and death waiting in every shadow. But what happened next? Change forever. Deep in the heart of the African savannah, where the golden grass stretches endlessly beneath an unforgiving sun, a heartbreaking story quietly unfolded, one that almost no one would have known about if fate had not intervened. The land was vast and silent, broken only by the whisper of wind moving through dry grass and the distant calls of unseen animals. Life here was brutal, beautiful, and merciless all at once. Hidden among low shrubs and cracked earth lay an abandoned den, small, dark, and nearly invisible to the untrained eye. It was a place once meant for safety, warmth, and new life. But now it held only silence and fear. Inside that den was a lion cub, barely days old. Its tiny body trembled as it pressed itself against the cold dirt. Its fur, still soft and pale, was dust-covered and matted. The cub's eyes, barely open, searched desperately for something familiar, something comforting. Its mother was gone. No heartbeat to listen to, no warm body to curl against, no gentle tongue to clean its fragile face. Every few moments, the cub let out a weak cry. Not a roar, just a soft, broken sound filled with desperation. A call meant for its mother. A call that went unanswered. In the wild, abandonment is often a death sentence. No mother meant no milk, no protection, no chance. The sun rose higher in the sky, turning the den into a furnace. The cub panted softly, its small chest rising and falling rapidly. Flies hovered nearby. The air smelled of dust and danger. Somewhere not far away, hyenas laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the plains. Night was even worse. As darkness fell, the temperature dropped sharply. The cub shivered, curling into itself for warmth. Its cries grew weaker, fading into exhausted whimpers. The stars above burned brightly, indifferent to the tiny life struggling below. Hours passed, then days. The cub survived on nothing but instinct and an unbreakable will to live. No one knew exactly why the mother never returned. Perhaps she had been killed while hunting. Perhaps driven away by rival lions. Perhaps injured and unable to make it back. In the wild, explanations rarely matter, only consequences do. And for this cub, the consequences were terrifying. But fate had not finished writing this story. Several kilometers away, a wildlife monitoring team was conducting routine patrols. Their job was to track animal movements, check on known dens, and respond to emergencies when possible. The savannah was vast, and time was always against them. Then the call came in. A local tracker had noticed unusual silence around a known lioness territory. No movement, no signs of the mother, and faint, unfamiliar sounds coming from a nearby abandoned den. Crying. A cub. The team didn't hesitate. They knew the risks. A mother lion could return at any moment. Predators could be nearby. And interfering with wildlife is never a simple decision. But leaving a newborn cub alone meant almost certain death. They gathered their gear and moved quickly. As they approached the area, the savannah seemed unnaturally quiet. Even the birds had fallen silent. Every step was careful. Every sound felt amplified. Then they heard it. A faint cry. Soft. Weak. Desperate. The sound cut straight through them. They followed it to the den. What they saw stopped them in their tracks. Inside the small hollow lay the cub, tiny, exhausted, barely moving. Its sides heaved with each breath. Its eyes met theirs wide and glossy, filled with fear and something else. Hope. The team moved slowly, lowering themselves to the ground. No sudden movements. No loud sounds. They spoke softly, their voices calm and gentle. The cub flinched at first, shrinking back into the corner of the den. But it didn't run. It couldn't. One rescuer extended a gloved hand, stopping inches away. The cub sniffed the air weakly. Its small body trembled. Then, with what little strength it had left, it let out a quiet mew. That sound broke everyone's heart. Carefully, gently, they lifted the cub into a warm blanket. The cub resisted for a moment, instinct fighting fear. Then it relaxed, pressing its tiny head against the rescuer's chest. As if it knew. As if it understood. Tears filled their eyes. This wasn't just a rescue. This was a life being saved. They checked the cub quickly. Dehydrated. Weak. Hungry. But alive. Still fighting. Time was critical. They move fast, carrying the cub away from a den, away from danger. Every shadow seemed threatening. Every rustle in the grass made their hearts race. They knew a lioness could appear at any second. But she didn't. The journey to the rescue center felt endless. The cub whimpered softly, its tiny paws clutching at the blanket. One rescuer kept whispering to it, a steady stream of reassurance. Another monitored its breathing, afraid that at any moment it might stop. But it didn't. The cub held on. When they finally reached the sanctuary, the veterinary team was ready. Warmth, fluids, milk formula specially prepared for orphan cubs. The cub drank weakly at first, then with growing urgency. Life returned slowly to its body. Its breathing steadied. Its eyes grew brighter. For the first time since its mother disappeared, the cub wasn't alone. Over the next few days, the transformation was incredible. The cub gained strength. Its cries grew louder, stronger. It began to explore its surroundings, wobbling on unsteady legs. It bonded with its caregivers, following them with curious eyes. But there were moments, quiet moments, when the cub would pause, staring off into the distance, listening, as if still waiting for its mother. Those moments were the hardest. The rescuers knew that no matter how much care they gave, they could never replace what the cub had lost. But they could give it something else. A future. Weeks passed. The cub grew healthier, more playful. Its fur thickened. Its movements became confident. Sometimes it would playfully pounce on shadows, practicing instincts written deep into its DNA. A king in the making. But the goal was never to tame it. The goal was freedom. The team worked carefully, limiting human contact as the cub grew older. They prepared it for life in the wild, teaching it to hunt, to survive, to trust its instincts. One day, when the time was right, the cub would return to the savannah, not as a victim, but as a survivor. This rescue was more than just saving one life. It was a reminder that compassion matters, that even in a world ruled by survival, kindness has a place, that humans, when they choose to protect rather than destroy, can make a difference. The savannah is still dangerous. Life is still fragile. But because of a few people who chose to act, one tiny heartbeat continues to echo across the plains. Somewhere out there, a lion cub who was once abandoned now runs beneath the open sky, strong, alive, and free. And every time the wind moves through the grass, it carries story. A story of loss. A story of hope. A story of rescue. If this story touched your heart, remember, wildlife needs our protection now more than ever. Every rescue counts. Every life matters. Share this story, spread awareness, and be the voice for those who cannot speak.